welcome to Success Ladder Podcast. My name is Paul Bryan, and here we bring you inspirational stories and conversations. We bring you stories that empower you and elevate your journey, ensuring that you realize the best that you got. So today I want us to talk about a topic that we normally overlook when we talk about success. That is relational intelligence. Tell you what, we live in a connected world, but the big question is, how truly do we relate with others? So, the big question is, how then do we build healthy, impactful, and purposeful relationship with others? Relationship that are going to elevate you, that are going to build you and make you a better person, not the ones that are going to drain you. So I'm joined with an educationalist, a thoughtful leader, and somebody who is very intentional about people and purpose. Her name is Mercy Wawira, and she's going to introduce herself shortly. But before she introduces herself, I just want to remind you to share and share this podcast so that we can be getting more and more of such people coming in sharing their thoughts. So Mercy, welcome to Success Ladder Podcast.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so who is Mercy?
So, as you've heard, I'm Mercy Thathi. Let me add that. I'm a teacher, an educationalist, and also I love people, like educating people like on how to be social with others, and also matters psychology, because I really love psychology. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Welcome to Success Ladder Podcast once again.
Thank you.
So I want us to talk about relational intelligence. And I want us to start with the basics. So there is emotional intelligence. I think most people relate with this. And then there is relational intelligence. So what is relational intelligence and how does it differ from emotional intelligence?
I can say relational intelligence is the discernment of knowing who should be in your life and where they should be, and also how you connect with them. And an emotional intelligence is how you manage your emotions and others, and how you let it like affect your life either in a positive way or in a negative way. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So we are living in a world where we are emotionally distant, but we are connected.
Yeah.
How important is relational intelligence in the world that you're living in today?
I can say being number one, being that you say like the world now is a global village. I can say relational intelligence is really important because you find like most people work from home or doing it in a hybrid or like in person. Yeah. So in work situation, I can say it's really important because you'll get to connect with people, and also like you manage those relationships and you build like healthy relationships at work, because no one wants to work in a toxic environment. And you find toxic environments are number one. The reason why an environment can be very toxic is because people don't have like the relational intelligence. You don't know how to relate with your peers, your workers, your colleagues, your bosses. So you find like either you're being looked down upon, or you don't know how to bring out your points. Yeah. So it has an effect on toxic work environments.
You meet people online. You can meet your colleagues maybe once in 4 years if you stay in those companies. So it's really it's really important to have relational intelligence, in my perspective, so that because it's going to make you very respect those people, build a very mature connection with the people that you are working with, but you can't see them. Talking about learning relational intelligence, is it something that I can learn? Can I teach myself? Can I develop it? Or it's something that it's natural? So if I was not born relationally intelligent, then it's done. I can't build it. Is it something that we can develop? Is it something that I can teach myself and grow? And how How can I do that?
Yeah, relational intelligence is something that you can learn. There are people who are like, just it's innate, it's in them. Like they're relational intelligent, like they know how to have that social relationship with people. And for some people, they don't have it. So for you to learn relational intelligence, if you don't have it, you have to learn how to have the basic skills. And I usually say the basic skills in relational intelligence or acquiring it is communication skills, listening skills, and also like having the act of understanding people. Yeah. Also something else, one should be open to acquiring like criticism and understanding that they should stand corrected at any time. It's not like someone is disagreeing with them or anything. Just that, when you're corrected, someone wants you to be better, like you improve on that. And if you're not open to that, then you can't learn relational intelligence. Also, something else for you to learn is learn how to not judge someone first. Learn how to be curious of what they are, who they are, what they are doing. If it's an idea, just listen to it. As much as maybe you feel like this is something that might not work, but you have to give them that chance, appreciate the thought that they are bringing through. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. So you got it. The practical science of somebody is relationally intelligent is positive communication, how you talk, how you communicate with others. Another thing is how you listen to others, which is something that we normally ignore so much.
Yeah.
And how you understand each other, trying to understand that, there is only one Paul Brian. We can be so many people sharing the same name, but I'm unique. I'm unique in my own ways. And the other person is also unique in their own way. So you need to understand these people. Amazing stuff. So Mercy, as an educationalist, have you seen scenarios where relational intelligence or lack of it impacts students, maybe relationship between teachers themselves, relationship between student and teachers and student themselves, and the entire learning ecosystem, having it or not having the relation or not having relational intelligence? Have you seen how it impacts the relationship between the students and the learners?
Yes, I have.
And teachers.
And also the teachers and the parents. So number one, I'll start with the students. So in learning, we usually say we have different learners with different capabilities. And as a teacher, one should be able to cater for all the students. So we have different learning methodologies. We have project-based, inquiry-based, where students, also the students will, at some point, students have to do group works. Let me say that. And I believe most people did group works. And you have to participate. You have to maybe give some content or be able to present your work. So in these group discussions, if one doesn't have relational intelligence, number one, they'll disagree with their peers. They won't want to participate with them. Okay, we'll give group discussions, maybe in a group of 5. It's you'll find maybe 2 people have done the work, 3 have not. Because they don't want to collaborate with the students, or maybe they feel, some usually feel like, I'm too bright for this. I can do this, by the way. You're wasting my time. I can do this by my own, so why do this? So that person is really bright. Their IQ is really good, but they lack that. And I feel like not having that sometimes make them feel in a certain way. Because you might be very bright, but socially, it's negative. And that's relational intelligence takes one far. I usually tell my students, if you can't be able to collaborate with others in the outside world, they call it adulting. When you become an adult, oh boy, you'll suffer. Because sometimes it's not about the papers. How you can be very social, you network with people, and that's how you can just get a job just like that. So how you relate with people, I usually tell my students is really important. So if I give you work, make sure you do it with others. As much as you may not have 10 points as the other, just give you 1 point and that's enough. That's how you learn. So it impacts students like that. And then with the teachers and administration, you find that some teachers they usually say they're in a toxic environment. And that's because they don't want maybe to listen, or they don't want to be corrected. Because if an administrator is there, you have to be corrected. If you come to school late, if you're going to class late, because class 40 minutes. So you take 10 minutes to take your books, go to the staff room. So then you have your lesson is like for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So when you're corrected, you're like, okay, maybe this principal or head teacher or deputy wants is not like understanding where I'm coming from, whatever. So I can say it creates, if one doesn't have relational intelligence, it can create like, a bad rapport.
Yeah.
And also like conflicts. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. So there is this thing that I always tell myself, you see, it's not about papers the way you're saying, and you're right about it. There's so many people who are skilled. There's so many people who have those papers.
Yeah.
If you talk about, for example, first class, there's so many people with those first classes.
Yeah.
There's so many people who are skilled there. So what is going to make you outstanding is how you relate with people.
True.
And that is what you're talking about, relational intelligence.
Yeah.
So it's something that you can't run away from. That doesn't mean we're not talking about being an introvert, being an extrovert. You can be an introvert, but still you have to have the relational intelligence skills. So it's something that I think whenever people talk about success, whenever we are having success discussion, we tend to ignore relational intelligence, and it's a key thing. One thing I always tell myself that every person is a leader, and as a leader, you see, when you're teaching those students in class, you are a leader.
Yeah.
And you can't teach desks.
Yeah, true.
You have to teach students.
Yeah.
So it means that there is a collaboration between you and the students. And for you to teach and for the learners to learn, there is communication.
Yeah.
So what can you say about how is relational intelligence important when it comes to leadership, when it comes to communication and teamwork, collaboration, and how does it influence those three things?
So I can say relational intelligence is really important in leadership. Number one, because you find as a leader, you'll have different groups of people who want to, move forward, people who are resilient, people who are lazy, people who don't want to be corrected.
Yeah.
So you must have the capacity in you to accommodate all these characters and not condemn anyone.
Yep.
Because you have to understand them. So if you don't have the understanding, like you can't adapt to this person being this, and you don't know how to communicate. You can know someone is lazy or has a certain character, but if you don't know how to communicate that to them and maybe tell them, you need to improve on this and this. So as a leader, if you really don't have that, you'll have a problem. For example, like as a teacher, I'm a leader in my class, so I tend to tell my students, if you do this, we usually have outside sessions, like out of class, we usually have class meetings.
Yeah.
They tell me what's going on, the problems are. And for instance, before we got to where we are right now, teacher-student relationship, it's usually not easy because like they fear you. They have that fear like you'll go and maybe report them to the administration and stuff like that, or tell their parents when you meet them. So having that and creating like that, they have confidence and they believe that whatever they tell you, I usually tell them, whatever you tell me stays in these four walls. So I create that confidence, like they have the act, like they can confide in me and will solve that. So if you don't have, like, you can create I usually tell them a class is a society.
Yeah.
And in a society, we have different characters.
Yeah.
So what's the problem in this small society of ours?
Yeah.
So for us to like be better, improve on what we are doing and everything, we have to solve these problems. And if you don't have good problem solving skills, as a leader, you'll maybe, you can say just fail. You can just fail. So what I usually do, they have sessions where they can speak freely. I'm like, just speak to me. Say what's happening.
Yeah.
What's the problem, and then you try to solve them. Even sometimes I usually engage the learners, like, what do you think we can do?
Yeah.
What's your take on this? So that, I don't give, that is what we call collaboration.
Yeah.
I can also collaborate with my students.
Yeah.
It's not all about me speaking, this is my class, we're going to do this. No. I usually engage my students, and I believe that has made them, better people, and it has also made me a better person, because in that also I give them a session where they can, tell me, Cha, this is what we're doing. Maybe we don't understand this because of this and this. And I don't take it in an offensive way.
Yeah.
I take it like, I have to, these are like my clients.
True.
If they're not students, as you're saying, I can't teach.
Yeah.
So I take it, I have to improve on this so that they can be better because I'm there for them. That's my work, yeah.
Yeah. Aye. Speaking of that, we are living in a conflicting world.
Yeah.
We are living in a world where people are very intelligent, people have very brilliant ideas.
Yeah.
And what that means is we can't run away from conflicts because if you want to do something, maybe we are in a group, maybe we are in a school, you're in that staff room, you're talking, you have ideas on how to achieve or how to unlock something. There is another teacher there, your colleague, who has a different idea. And so what all this brings is a conflict.
Yeah.
Then how does relational intelligence help in conflict resolution?
That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Nasemanga mambo ya staff room ni moto.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I can say having like relational intelligence really helps in such situations, because if you don't have it, oh boy, you'll have conflicts all the time, and you won't like be having that connection. Like you can say probably like, this is my colleague, you can work with this person in case of anything. So how you solve that is, personally, I'm a very, not to like toot my own horn, but like I'm a very good listener.
Yeah.
So I just tend to listen. I won't disagree with you.
Yeah.
I just listen.
Yeah.
And then after that, I can give you my take.
Yeah.
Not like in a disagreeing manner, but I'll be like, okay, I think maybe we can do this in a certain way.
Yeah.
And maybe you can try to, if, sometimes you can give an idea, but it's not like, it won't really help.
Yeah.
But if you incorporate it with something else, it might be even a better idea.
True.
So you try, I can say, being a good listener, and also just learning how to handle people, like have the adaptability to like adapt to different situations. People are different. So how can you accommodate this person with a very different character?
Yeah.
How can you accommodate another person? And it's not like you're changing your personality or your behavior, just that you're just adaptable.
Yeah.
And it doesn't change who you are.
Hi. Good. So I'll tell you a story. I want to ask you a question, but I'll tell you a story. So you as a person, have you had moments where relational intelligence have helped you turn around a situation or helped you break through your career? And I'll tell you something. So my current job, I remember it's my first job actually after campus. So I still talk to my high school teachers. I have their contacts.
Interesting.
So when I was leaving high school, my physics teacher, I think he was in charge of academics then. So I remember the day we went for interviews. After interviews, we got the job, so we were doing documentation. So I required to present our high school certificates. And I didn't pick my certificate. So I was there in the line. It's a requirement. And you know, like, it's my first job, actually. I've not even graduated. So I'm like, what am I going to do? And I think that is one moment that relational intelligence really helped me, because the person I was back then gave even teachers confidence in me, gave me confidence to be able to keep their numbers, to be able to be talking to them. So I called him because I heard that he was the current deputy, and actually he's the current deputy of the school. So I called him, told him, you know what, I haven't picked my high school certificate and I need it. Can you just scan it for me? I just need it right now. I'll print, the rest I'll handle. But they did it. So he scanned it, I gave it to me, and I presented it. And actually I'm working. And talking of the same job, do you know how I got that job? It's our head of department back in campus who called me. He called me on a Thursday that there's some interviews in company X, so I'm referring you. Why?
Nice.
It was because of the relational awareness. I used to relate with people there. So it's very important.
Yeah, true.
So that was my story, and many more. So back to you. Have you had scenarios where relational intelligence have helped you turn around a situation, or maybe help you break through something, maybe your career or something that was unlocked?
Yeah. So first I can commend you, like not many people have relationship with their teachers, by the way.
Yeah.
So it's a rare thing. So but
Coffee on you?
coffee on me. So on my end, I can say like, okay, this is my third job.
Yeah.
So my second job, where I was teaching, how I got the job was because okay, we have a business at home.
Yeah.
So being in the business world, you
Yeah.
get to meet a lot of people. Like people come in as clients and you sell to them and stuff like that. So I was at my mom's place.
Yeah.
So I got to, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Like you won't know who's someone, like their career and stuff.
True.
So I got to, just normal serve them, sell to them. There was a time I was there, like I was the one managing because my mom was sick and stuff. So I had to go there. So when I was there, obviously, like I sold to this person and stuff. So it came to a point where I had to, it was after campus.
Yeah.
I had not yet graduated.
Yeah.
So I was just dropping papers. I want to volunteer, have the, who usually say you want to have the experience and stuff. So I was just dropping my papers. So I went to this school, and it's a national school, by the way. So I went to this school. Then I went to the head teacher.
Yeah.
No, the deputy. The deputy. Yeah. And apparently, I had once told, he was, you don't remember everyone.
But true.
Yeah, but he remembered me. So he was like, okay, we don't have positions, but I recall you. I was like, okay, interesting. So, you mean from where? And then he was like, have you ever sold in a kitchenware somewhere? I was like, yeah, my mom has one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was like, okay, in my campus, like during the long holidays, I'll be there. And after I finished for a few months, I was there. So he was like, you once sold to me, nini. So I was like, okay, interesting. But I was like, you're familiar, but I really can't place you like where I saw you.
Because you meet so many people.
Yeah. So I can say that really helped me to acquire that volunteer opportunity. So I can say that's how it helped me, because it was really hard. But you're offering to work for free, but you're not getting the opportunity. So if it was not for that, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It really helped me.
I want to say that we are talking about relational intelligence, and in simple terms is the connection that you have with people. And as we said earlier, you can have the skills, you can have the papers, but then your relationship with people is also important. And that makes me ask you a question. What are some of the habits or practices that we can integrate in our day-to-day life to improve our relational awareness and our relational intelligence?
I can say, apart from the 3 skills that I've mentioned, also, adaptability, I've also mentioned it, but also how you can improve your relational intelligence, like be willing to learn.
True.
Yeah. If you're willing to learn, you'll get to, when you're willing to learn, you won't do no man is an island. You get to do things with people.
Yeah.
When you get to do things with people, you get to learn in the way. So don't say I'm perfect at this, I know this. No one is perfect in this world.
Yeah.
And it won't ever happen. So, you have to accept that you need people in your life. You need to accept that you'll meet different people, and you have to be very accommodative of different characters. So with that, it will help you build your relational intelligence, because I believe the way I was back in high school is not the same way I was in campus, and it's not the same way. Like, you get to build yourself, and if you're a very positive person and you really want to make yourself better in each and every day, you have to allow that room for growth.
Oh, amazing. Just to add something around it, there is this thing called humility. And I'll use the example. You see, if at all you didn't handle that teacher, that customer of yours with humility or together with the respect, I don't think if the discussion could have remained the same.
Yeah, it will.
So it's also very important to stay humble. Just stay humble and respect people. As you wind up, What can you tell somebody who is struggling with the relationship at school, at work, at home, maybe due to poor relational awareness? What can you tell them?
All I can say is for you, the basic skill
Yeah.
for one to have like a good relational intelligence
Yeah.
is just learn how to listen. Like listening, not hearing, listening.
Yeah.
Like you get to understand someone. You want to know, like I don't want to judge you, or I want to understand where you're coming from. I want to understand your point. And with that, you'll know what to say. And also like, before you talk, just think about what you want to say. Because I feel like that's the one thing that's, if you think about conflict, it's the one thing that causes conflict. Like you just speak without thinking and you don't think like what the consequence, the aftermath or anything. So like for you to have the relational intelligence, you have to have the skills. Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Maybe as we finish, what is the golden rule that you can leave to us about relational intelligence? One golden rule.
One golden rule I can say, don't judge, be curious. And I use that all the time because as a teacher and as an educator, you get to meet parents, you get to meet teachers, you get to meet your bosses. And with this, for instance, with the parents, a parent can come and tell you, my son is not performing or my daughter is not performing. He or she tells me this and this and this. And kids will lie. Oh, trust me, kids will lie.
Yeah.
And they'll tell lies about teachers and all that.
Yeah.
So I don't like jump to the gun like, why is she telling you this? Like, it's not that. No, you get to listen. And I'm also curious, like, why is this kid saying this?
Yeah.
Why isn't she or he coming to me, maybe if they have an issue? Yeah. So you have to understand and be curious, understand where someone is coming from and understand why they're saying whatever they're saying. Mm-hmm. Yeah. With that, you'll avoid like the judgment and avoid a lot of things.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mercy, for joining us in this episode.
And I've loved
Thank you for the inspiring insights around relational intelligence.
Yeah.
And tell you what, you heard it today from Mercy and I, that life is not about what you know and what you can do. It's about how you connect, how you relate, and how you grow with others.
Yeah.
And always remember that a relational intelligence is not a soft skill. It's a skill towards success. Until next time, keep relating, keep growing with others. This is Success Ladder Podcast. My name is Paul Bryan.